Why settle for less when you can see more with Flow? With Flow's digital video service, you get more channels, more customizable video packages, more flexibility with your personal video recorder. Pause, rewind, and record your favorite shows. In other words, we give you more so you can really enjoy the bigger picture.
Flow, watch, talk, click.
This is a CC6 Newsnight Week in Review for June 10th to June 13th, 2013. It was the week in which the Prime Minister spoke of accomplishments in the new administration's first 100 days. A commitment was made to restart work on a juvenile correctional facility and lightning destroyed household appliances in a St. David community. In sports, a new Flow Mount Airy Windball cricket champion was crowned. Details when we return.
Pay your Flow bill in full and on time and get a chance to win a $500 shopping spree. Yes, 2 grocery shopping sprees to be won. Pay your bill in full at any Flow payment center by June 30th. Fill out an entry form and get a chance to win one of 2 $500 shopping vouchers. What are you waiting for? Come on down to Flow and pay your bill today. Flow, watch, talk, click.
I am Kirani James, and Co-op Bank is my bank.
If prosperity really matters to you, come home to Grenada Cooperative Bank. Since 1932, we have shared the same values: financial diligence, investing with prudence, transparent compliance, consistent performance.
Welcome home, Grenada.
No matter the economic climb, we always stand the test of time.
Welcome home, Grenada, the bank that goes the extra mile. Welcome home, Grenada, the bank that serves with a smile.
Welcome to a bank you can truly call your own. Grenada Cooperative Bank.
We care because you matter.
Welcome home.
It's a popular belief that all windows and doors are the same. But at St. Lou Metal, we know the difference. With true Grenadian craftsmanship and precision that gives the best quality and low guaranteed prices, you have a wide variety of windows and doors to choose from. Skylight windows, 2-half kitchen doors, aluminum doors with window inside and screen. We are the doors and windows people. St. Lou Metal, building number 19, Frequente Industrial Park. Call 439-6538.
Thanks for joining us. I am Samantha Williams. The Prime Minister delivered his 100 days address on Wednesday night and highlighted the achievements of the government following the New Nationals Party landslide victory in the February general elections, and also informed the public of ongoing projects and plans under the new administration.
Prime Minister Dr. The Right Honourable Keith Mitchell says government has started the restructuring of the local economy with recommendations from the International Monetary Fund, the IMF. In a national address aired on CC6 Wednesday night, the nation's leader outlined the achievements of his administration during their first 100 days in office and says they have succeeded in stopping the economic freefall, bringing a semblance of order back into fiscal management. PM Mitchell says following discussions with officials of the IMF this month, a number of things have been put in place as a foundation for necessary growth.
We have begun a complete restructuring of the economy with recommendations from the International Monetary Fund, but with all clear direction that any program must have growth and job creation as its fundamental focus. The new economy requires that government put its fiscal house in order. The new economy demands that government lives within its means. That is, it must not continue to spend more than it earns. Your government has already begun to demonstrate our commitment by putting our fiscal house in order by some of the measures announced in the 2013 budget. More will follow in the 2014 budget.
He says in the national address that government has started to revamp the ailing economy, and one of the main ways of doing so is providing employment opportunities.
I wish to recognize the efforts of all involved in resolving the issues so that this project could begin, in particular, the Minister of Works, Honorable Gregory Boyne. In the coming weeks, from virtually immediately, several road projects will begin. Other projects in stream include the St. Mark's Flood Mitigation Project, the Karakou Marina Project, and the manufacturing projects which have started at Frequente. Between now and July 1st, thousands of workers will be out, claiming a livelihood in a number of areas. Those areas include the debushing program, the concrete roads and house repair programs. The small business loan scheme would also be in place by then to encourage entrepreneurship among our citizens. What these projects have all in common is the ability to put people back to work.
The nation's leader says they will continue to secure gainful employment for as many people as possible.
We are pleased with the way things have started, but of course we will never be satisfied. My government will never be satisfied until the bulk of our people get back to productive work, led by increasing activity in a robust private sector. We will never be satisfied until government meets all its commitments to the workers of this country. We will also never be satisfied until we pay people for their services rendered to government, and that unpaid claims in the Treasury are brought down to a mere minimum. We will never be satisfied until a sustainable strategy is fully in place to ensure that our youths are not left behind. And we have begun, and we'll move forward with hope and expectations.
Prime Minister Mitchell says the fundamentals of the country's recovery are strong, and the words "we will deliver" is not just a campaign slogan, but a substantive determination that fuels a conscious policy to put people first. Blossom Alexis Welsh, CC6 Newsnight.
The Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Social Development says work will soon begin on a facility that caters for young offenders, as Grenada has made a commitment to playing their part in a regional juvenile justice program.
The OECS Secretariat's Juvenile Justice Reform Project, which is being funded by the USAID in the amount of US $5.8 million, is expected to focus on children who are in conflict with the law and the methods used to reduce these occurrences. Officials in Grenada are ensuring they play their part in the regional system. Stakeholders in Grenada have committed to restart work on the Bacolet Rehabilitation Center, which can house young offenders instead of placing them among seasoned criminals at the Richmond Hill Prison. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Social Development, Elizabeth Henry Greenidge, is the chairman of the local organization.
This project is very significant in that I think we all agree here in Grenada we need to have specialized training, specialized treatment, and even the whole issue of incarcerating our young offenders at Her Majesty's prison is one that is not desirable. So therefore we are working towards rehabilitating the Bacolet Rehabilitation Center so that it can be an area where we can assist and help our young offenders as well as young people who are at risk for becoming involved in deviant behavior.
Data collection will include the number of children arrested, their ages, gender, level of connection between the delinquent child and the community, and the type of programs carried out to reduce the level of juvenile delinquency.
Once they become in conflict, we tend to abandon them, we tend to not worry about them, we tend to not support them, and that encourages more deviant behavior. So therefore we need to educate, and here is where the media can play a role by promoting programs, maybe doing interviews, going around and speaking to people to get a sense as to what they understand juvenile justice means and what they would like to see done with the young people in our society who are presently at risk.
The court systems, social services, national policymakers and youths are anticipated key beneficiaries of the information system. And in addition, the reports from the Juvenile Justice Information System will be available for public use.
This project is supported by the OECS Secretariat. It's the regional organization that is backing the project across the whole OECS countries. Thus far, 6 of the countries are involved: Antigua, Dominica, Grenada, St. Lucia, St. Kitts, St. Vincent. And it is hoped that at the end of the project we can make an impact both in the way we address issues with young people who are in conflict in the law, but I think much more than that, the whole education that we can provide to members of the society to assist these young people.
Mrs. Henry Greenidge was expected to meet with officials of the Ministry of Finance on Tuesday to get an idea of when funds will be distributed for the project, and she anticipates that work will begin within 1 month. Blossom Alexis Welsh, CC6 Newsnight.
Residents of a St. David community are dealing with the loss of a number of their household appliances as adverse weather last week brought bolts of lightning and resulted in power surges which damaged equipment.
A number of villagers in Mount Agnes, St. David were given a serious scare on Tuesday last by heavy rains, thunder and lightning in the early hours of the morning. One resident, Leroy John, gave CC6 Newsnight the opportunity to record the damage done to his house and appliances as a result of the lightning. He also described the song which awakened him that morning.
Around 4 o'clock in the morning, rain was falling, thunder rolling, lightning strikes. And suddenly I hear a loud blast. So I see what happened, a bomb fall outside, lightning sticking at nothing. Then I smell smoke a certain time. So I rush out. I see me hold on my downstairs, there was in smoke. So I chop out all over my head and I rushed outside. I called my wife upstairs. You are crying? She said, yes. So I went upstairs. I took off the breaker, took my flashlight and I come back down. To see what really took place. When I come and see definitely what lightning had done to me.
Mr. John says the lightning has resulted in him losing a number of his appliances, some of which were purchased just last December.
I lost my computer, brand new one I know buy from Coates. Christmas, amplifier, a DVD, equalizer, my stereo set, and also a TV.
So is this first time you experience something like this?
So far, first time. And this is something we have to look at carefully.
You were telling me, is it your home alone or you have a number of other persons in the area who have been affected?
And basically, the majority of people in this area here been affected by that. Because most of them lost the telephone and the television also. Not only me alone.
Another resident of the area, Yolan Whiteman, also spoke with CC6 Newsnight about her losses as a result of the lightning.
To be honest, it's the first time in my life I had ever heard so much thunder and big flash of lightning. And next morning when I got up, there was no reception on the television nor the telephone.
So, what did you do?
I called up Cable and Wireless and I went to Flow and to get my connection back from Flow. But then when they came, they said to me that the television burned. So they took back the cable box and then I need to get a new TV. And then with the phone now, the box burned.
Other residents in the area also had losses due to burnt televisions and telephones. Sherry and Noel, CC6 Newsnight.
When we return, Grenada gets approval to grant CVQ certification.
Only one dishwashing liquid can do the job. Quicks is the expert in taking out the toughest grease easily. You know you can trust it. Quicks cuts grease better, full stop.
Digicel delivers bigger, better value all day, every day to more people. Talk for 5 minutes and get the next 55 minutes free on that call. Everyone deserves free talk. And with Digicel, your credit lasts longer. Now that's value. Digicel, the bigger, better network.
Breeze removes stains in the first wash. The other detergents, not always. You have to wash it all again and use twice the amount. So, which one costs more? Do the math. Choose Breeze. Unbeatable stain removal.
Welcome back. It was 2 days of red for the workers at the island's lone electricity company as workers registered their objection to a decision of the company which would have resulted in their union not being a part of a process that deals with funds for later years.
The Grenada Technical and Allied Workers Union has instructed unionized workers at Grenlec to cease industrial action following a successful meeting co-chaired by Minister of Labour Elvin Nimrod and Minister of Works Gregory Bowen on Wednesday. They wore red T-shirts to work on Tuesday and Wednesday to show their displeasure with management's decision to breach the collective agreement of July 2010 by excluding the role of GTAU in the matter of the Workers' Provident Fund. A workers' ballot was conducted on Friday to decide whether or not they are prepared to take industrial action to resolve the issue. The union wrote a letter to Minister of Labour Honourable Elvin Nimrod calling for his intervention into the matter, and the meeting was held in the ministerial complex on Wednesday. President General is Chester Humphrey.
The main achievement this afternoon is one, a recognition that unlike what the company was holding before, the union does have a role to play within the trust deed and the rules. That's point number one. Point number two, that where the company chose to give itself a majority on the trusteeship, that has now been reversed to be made consistent with the collective agreement, and that is the union will have an equal number of trustees appointed by it as the company. And then another element of that is that the chairmanship of this trusteeship will be held by an independent person, both of whom will meet the requirements of the union.
He says they have also been able to have a few discrepancies expunged from the collective agreement.
Under what the company created in violation of the collective agreement, which amounted to a unilateral amendment of the terms and conditions of work, that has been reversed, where the company gave itself the authority to withhold a worker's pension or provident fund if that worker was dismissed for cause. That has now been expunged from the rules, and there are some other matters, as I say, which we were not able to exhaust, but which will continue in a meeting under the chairmanship of the Minister of Labour.
The union and the company will meet with the minister again in about 2 weeks, during which time the disputing parties will iron out some issues.
The union and the company is going to sit down again, and the union is going to take the company through the draft document to raise some of the minor objections. They are minor in the overall scheme of things, but important for us to get removed from the document. So as it stands at the moment, we are going to give consideration to a standing down this afternoon of the current industrial action. And I would say if things continue as they are, industrial relations at the company should be very much back to normal. But I want to thank the workers for the overwhelming response that they gave. 99% of the employees showed up with their red union T-shirts, and I think that is what led to this rapid change on the part of the company, and it's very positive.
Mr. Humphrey says the minister's quick response to the issue avoided an escalation of industrial action. Janelle Andrews, CC6 Newsnight.
Grenada is one of 2 countries in the region that received approval to grant Caribbean vocational qualifications by CARICOM ministers of education last month and joins 3 bigger islands that can issue the certificate.
Grenada has joined Trinidad and Tobago, Barbados and Jamaica as CARICOM states able to grant Caribbean Vocational Qualifications, CVQs, following approval by COSAD recently. Grenada's application for CVQ awarding status had successfully gone through 2 approval bodies, the Caribbean Association of National Training Agencies and the Regional Coordination Mechanism for Technical and Vocational Education and Training. CEO of the National Training Agency, Lincoln Morgan, says as part of the approval process, the organization had to undergo a rigorous self-evaluation and external review to ensure it met the quality assurance criteria and guidelines for CVQ as established by CANTA.
This is extremely significant for us. Grenada is one of the newest NTAs in the region, and initially it was seen as a very almost formidable task by some of the OECS countries. However, both Grenada and St. Lucia have been able to achieve all of the requirements set by the Caribbean Association of National Training Agencies to be able to grant the CVQ.
CVQs are one of the features in the process towards achieving the free movement of certified skilled workers under the Caribbean Single Market and Economy, he says.
So now Grenadians can receive Caribbean vocational qualifications from the NTA. This will make it easier for persons to be able to move and work within CARICOM under the CSME. It's a major achievement for us. It's one of the major tasks that we set ourselves in 2009 when the NTA was established. And we are very happy that as of now, going forward, Grenadians can join Trinidadians, Bajans, and Jamaicans in receiving Caribbean vocational qualifications to persons in the workforce.
This means the NTA will be able to certify people in the workplace at all levels on the regional qualification framework and support the offering of CVQs within the school system.
The CVQs are based on what we call occupational standards. An occupational standard is a document that describes what it is a person must be able to do in a particular job, all the competencies they must have, and the requisite knowledge, background information they must have so that they understand what it is they're doing when they're performing the various tasks on the job. So the CVQ is a certificate that says that you are competent, you have all of the competencies that are related to a particular job at a particular level.
The NTA CEO says to earn an award, candidates must demonstrate competence in reaching CARICOM-approved occupational standards developed by industry experts and employers.
Competency-based education training is not new. We've been using it to train pilots, to train doctors, to train nurses, to train teachers. However, now we're using it to train persons for whatever occupations we deem that are necessary in Grenada and in the region. And we'll be focusing on occupations that are relevant for Grenada, but we'll also be focusing to a certain extent on occupations that are available throughout the region, because remember, the CVQ is one of the things that will facilitate the free movement of people. So Grenadians earning a CVQ will find that jobs are not only open to them in Grenada, but jobs will become open to them in other parts of the region where there is need for skilled persons in the areas that they're certified.
The awarding of CVQ granting status to Grenada will also mean that skilled and certified workers will be able to seek available employment opportunities with less difficulties in any other CARICOM state where there are available jobs.
Incoming chairman of the Spicemas Corporation, Arthur Hostin, says he has high hopes and expectations for a successful carnival despite the many challenges that SMC faces as a result of limited finances.
The theme for Spicemas 2013 is uniquely rooted in our rich ancestral traditions, sweet steel pan music, the rhythm of Spicemas. And chairman of the Spicemas Corporation, Arthur Hostin, says there is much that needs to be done to develop the steel pan movement and product in Grenada.
We need to look at the product we offer in people, In everything you do in marketing, you have to be attractive. And we have to relook the package. Both Silver Association players and SMC need to sit down and look at what you're presenting. Because at the moment, we are not being able to attract people to the park. So it's redefining the product and presenting a better package next year. So going forward, it can't be done this year, but definitely we already started the discussion, and it needs people to think outside the box. We cannot do what we've been doing. We have been failing. So we need to relook at the product and our strategies going forward.
The issue of soca artists having to wait months to collect prize monies was also addressed by the SMC chairman, and he says there is a plan in place in 2013 to ensure that there isn't a recurrence of that problem.
I will be playing on stage this year, which is very easy to do. They get receipts from Soca Monarch, will pay its artists. Our biggest headache and finding the funds is a panorama. We are looking at ways, we have a sponsor on board this year, so that will be done. Once we do that, we'll look at the service providers afterwards, find ways of paying them in time. But really, this year we'll be paying on stage like I've done in 2007.
The SMC, he says, also has plans for the development and improvement of the Calypso art form in Grenada.
I said to the Calypso Association that we need to, again, relook the product. What you're giving me now and giving John Public is really below the barrel. When there are good Calypso that suffers and there are people who get left. If we need to go back to what we used to have pre-2000, and getting numbers in the park, the product has to be looked at. That means that we need to bring back the tents, and they have to find innovative ways. I propose to them that they sing on CDs with a good MC and do a tent, at least have a 3 weeks period where people go to a tent and get back their appreciation for Calypso.
Mr. Hostin says volunteerism is another aspect of cutting costs and ensuring all goes well for the season. Sherry-Ann Noel, CC6 Newsnight.
Coming up in Sports on 6, Grenada's strongest man preparing to take on the world.
Cool me down. Nothing can hard in my country. So I open up a yes.
In order that I should marry.
When did you jump, soca? Friendliest people you'll ever meet. Wise man with black stone beside him.
Live on Community Channel 6 every Saturday, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. It's Sound System Saturday.
Grenada, you are being watched by the hardest hitting commentary team ever assembled, and they tell you as they see it every Monday at 8 p.m. on Community Channel 6. Watchdog.
Biting commentary.
A biting commentary. Repeat broadcast Saturdays at 8 p.m.
Biting commentary.
Welcome back. LLB United are the new champions of the Flow Mount Airy Windball Cricket Tournament.
LLB United are the new champions of the Flow Mount Airy Windball Cricket Tournament. LLB took on the defending champs Country Cold Store in the final on Sunday at the Mount Airy playing field, and despite overcast skies, were able to overthrow the 2012 winners and win by 62 runs. Batting first, LLB posted a reasonable total of 163 runs before bowling out their opponents for 101. The official closing ceremony took place after the exciting finale, with the top teams and performers being recognized for their talent displayed during the almost 4-month-long tournament. Country manager of Flow, Gail Purcell, was on hand to congratulate the Mount Airy Sports and Culture Club for the dedication to putting on the competition for the last 19 years and pledged that the company will continue to play their part in making it a reality.
Flow continues to support this competition, and it's with great pleasure that we do so. We're happy to see the number of teams that continue to participate, but as I said at the opening, we want not just the teams that are here, but we want to continue the strength of the competition, which has been really a pillar in this community for 19 years now. Mr. Mitchell and the committee here has continued to do a lot of hard work, and they're dedicated to the process. And we want to see that not only their hard work, but we want to see new people coming on board to keep the committee and the community spirit alive so that this competition will continue to grow from year to year.
Parliamentary representative for the area, Honorable Gregory Bowen, also addressed Sunday's closing ceremony and says one of his priorities is to ensure that there is adequate number of playing fields available for the successful runoff of the tournament.
The Mount Airy Windball competition does not only take place at Mount Airy, and it is my pledge to continue to help to develop the facilities in the communities at which these cricket competitions are played. And so you can count next year, or at least at most the next 2 years, to see the Good Hope facility being in prime condition for the continuation and the expansion, brothers and sisters, of these facilities. Laborie will not be too far behind because we are working with a team there to ensure that you have the facilities, particularly our women's folk. When they come out to support, we must ensure that they have the best facilities, brothers and sisters.
Secretary of the Mount Airy Sports and Culture Club, Julian Mitchell, says although the number of ladies teams in the tournament has gone down, the organization is placing emphasis on attracting youth teams.
This year, ladies and gentlemen, we were only able to attract 3 ladies team. From 7 or 8 ladies team, we only had 3 ladies team this year. Nevertheless, I am happy to report to our sponsors that we have invested in the youth and we were able to attract 7 youth teams this year to ensure Mount Airy Windball cricket remain in good hands.
During the awards ceremony, M. Smith of Country Coastal was named Player of the Season, while Paula Hazard was named Top Female Scorer, and A. Lewis was given the prize for Best Wicket Taker in the female division. In the junior division, Colours Juniors won the championship prize after completing an undefeated run in the tournament, while second place went to Mount Rich Youths and third was Mount Airy Youths. For the females, Latouche Ladies took home the top prize after edging out Mount Rich Ladies, who finished second. Former winners Alexis Rangers had to settle for third place. With LLB United taking home the championship honours in the men's division and 2012 winners Country Coastal finishing second, former winners Foundation was third, and Under the Mango Tree finished in fourth place.
Grenada's strongest man, Radon Gill, who recently returned from competition in the United Kingdom, has secured a third-place spot in the 2013 British Open Strongest Man competition.
The bronze medal qualifies Radon to move on to the next round of competition, the European Worlds, which is scheduled for August. With only 2 months left to prepare, Sports on 6 spoke to Radon about his recent success and the upcoming challenge on Tuesday at the SSU compound in Point Saline.
It's a great accomplishment, and I must say, thanks to God, my family, my mom, my coach, Melvin Pope, my trainer, Davin Matthew, my sponsor, Miss Emily Pierre, for the ticket, and the administration of SSU for giving me the time off, Eat and Water, Mitchell Health and Wellness, and also Geomag Gym, where I do all my training.
Radon is a police officer by profession and says he plans to do all he can to ensure he makes it to the world event.
I have 2 months to really step up my game. I'm supposed to be able to do that, get that accomplishment, because the next competition is in August, and that will be meeting greater challenges, and I should be able to do my best again without no injury. Most of the events was new to me. The only thing was not new to me was the deadlift. The car hold was new to me, the yoke was new to me, and all that events was very strenuous because it was time and you have a lot of movements. But however, based on how I train, I was able to combat it.
His commander, Assistant Superintendent of Police Terrence Noel, says Radon is a very disciplined young man and has the full backing of the force.
He's a very determined young man, and he showed that he has the ability to move forward in the bodybuilding area. And you know, as being his commander, I will always push him to the extreme to ensure that whatever he likes, he can achieve it at high standards. We are embarking on community policing and so forth, and he being out there is, you know, showcasing the force to the public and also letting the public know that police officers can do things other than law enforcement. And he's making his mark out there, and he's representing himself and he's representing the force by extension. So we're happy for that.
Radon will be hoping to dominate the European Challenge in August, he says, in an effort to be among the best to compete in the world event carded for later this year.
That's all we have for you in Sports on 6. We recap the headlines next. Recapping the headlines. It was the week in which the Prime Minister spoke of accomplishments in the new administration's first 100 days. A commitment was made to restart work on a juvenile correctional facility, and lightning destroyed household appliances in a St. David community. In sports, new Flow Mount Airy Windball Cricket champion crowned. That brings us to the end of CC6 Newsnight Week in Review for June 10th to June 13th, 2013. Top stories from CC6 Newsnight can also be seen on our Facebook page, Flow Community Channel 6. On behalf of the news team, I'm Samantha Williams. Thank you for joining us.